فخامة الرئيس
Your Excellency João Lourenço, Chairman of the African Union, President of the Republic of Angola, Your Excellency Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, Chairperson of the Commission of the African Union, Your Excellency Abiy Ahmed, Prime Minister of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, Your Excellency Giorgia Meloni, President of the Council of Italy, Your Excellency Secretary General Mr. Guterres of the UN, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you all. I'm very pleased to stand before you here on behalf of your brother, His Excellency Mahmoud Abbas, President of the State of Palestine, conveying to you his greetings and his wishes of success for the 39th Assembly of the African Union until it achieves its goals and also until it achieves for Africa and its struggling peoples prosperity, stability, and sustainable development. Now, I will read to you the message or the statement of President Mahmoud Abbas to this Assembly. We would like, first of all, to express our congratulations to the President of Burundi, Mr. Everest Shimi, for being elected at the helm of this Assembly in 2026, and we extend our thanks and gratitude to the President of the Republic of Angola, João Lourenço, for chairing the previous session of the Union. I would like also to seize this opportunity in order to reaffirm our pride for the deep ties and also the solidarity of Africa with Palestine, and also the common values on which the relationship between Africa and Palestine has been established since the last century, at the top of which the rejection of all forms of colonization and the right of peoples for freedom and self-determination and also dependency, and also the common objectives of development, the sharing of expertise and benefits in order to achieve prosperity and economic integration and the reinforcement of ties and mutual benefits among our peoples. And in this respect, we would like to commend the efforts of the African Union and the member states in order to achieve sustainable development and also high growth rates, and we would like to support these efforts which are aimed at exploiting resources and the wealth of the continent in the service of the African peoples. Mr. Chairman, Excellencies, heads of state and government and heads of delegations, our Palestinian people is still suffering from the occupation, from the Israeli occupation. And also, the crimes of Israel have been increasing day after day, and we need more solidarity and efforts by the international community in order to achieve its freedom and self-determination and build up its state on the borders of 1967 and based also on international resolutions. This summit is taking place at a very important juncture for the Palestinian people who is still suffering. And the war in Gaza has been unprecedented, and you have been watching and following this war through your televisions, which has cost more than 70,000 deaths. This and the 85% of our infrastructure in Gaza has been demolished in violation of international law. The state of Palestine has agreed on the ceasefire, and also the American decision on Gaza, and which has set for which would lead to self-determination for the Palestinians after a period of transition of 2 years. Our agreement is based on our conviction that war must be ended and that the suffering of our peoples must be ended, particularly that the resolution of the United Nations has stipulated that this transition period will last 2 years. Our agreement is based also on our conviction for the need to end the war against our people and ease their suffering, especially that the resolution of the United Nations Security Council has stipulated the necessity of access of humanitarian assistance and the start of reconstruction in Gaza. But despite this ceasefire, thanks to the role played by the mediators, particularly the United States, Turkey, and Qatar. Despite all this, Israel is still violating this ceasefire since it has killed, since the time of the ceasefire up to now, more than 500 Palestinians since the proclamation of the ceasefire, which threatens the ceasefire and undermines the second phase fully. And in this context, we would like to reaffirm the need to lift all the obstacles that are imposed by Israel against the arrangements that are related to the second phase, including the work of the Board of Gaza in order to ensure the continuation of the services and humanitarian assistance. Our vision for the future of Gaza is quite clear. Gaza is an integrated part of Palestine, and our people is one, and our national project is one as part of our overall vision, which is based on one state, one political system, one government, one law, and one legislation based on the UN Security Council relevant resolutions. Ladies and gentlemen, what is taking place in the West Bank reflects the suffering which the people in Gaza are faced with, since there is an enlargement of the settlements and our people are suffering from the violence exerted by the settlers and the confiscation of their lands and goods through as a violation against international law. And last month alone, the terrorist settlers have committed more than 72 aggressions against our people in the West Bank. And the Israeli government has undertaken a new legislation which reinforces settlement and which allows the confiscation of lands in violation of international law. All this in order to impose the Israeli sovereignty on Palestine and prevent the setting up of the Palestinian state. These measures, which have been proclaimed recently, need a vigorous response in order to save the solution based on two states. And the Israeli government is trying to undermine the action of the Palestinian government through trying to keep the taxes and this in violation of the Protocol of Oslo, which was agreed upon by the two sides, since those funds that have been restrained by Israel are estimated at more than $4 billion, and our government has lost more than 70% of its outcome. So which government could really carry on its action while losing more than a third of its financial resources? And we must also talk about the city of Jerusalem because of its religious and historical and legal importance, and all the policies that it is faced with aimed at imposing at undermining the presence of the Palestinians in Jerusalem. And these policies include the violation of the sanctity of the Holy Mosque. This in addition to policies of demolition of homes and also the prevention of Christians and Muslims from access to holy shrines in order to undertake their prayers in Jerusalem, in Al-Quds. This is a violation of international law and legitimacy. And these measures undermine any horizon in order to achieve sustainable and lasting peace in the region. And we must here underscore that East Jerusalem is part and parcel of the state of Palestine, and that any attempts to impose a new reality will not change the legal status of this holy city. Mr. Chairman, heads of delegations, last year was very important as concerns the international momentum in support of our people, and particularly the International Alliance for the Two-State Solution and the initiative of Saudi Arabia and our friends in France in organizing a conference on the two-state solution, this in compliance with UN resolution. And this has led to the New York Agreement, which was agreed by the General Assembly on the 12th of September 2025 with the support of your countries in the service, in the benefit of this proclamation. And the international recognition was very important, since the number of countries which have recognized the state of Palestine, 160 states. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to reiterate my thanks and gratitude for the principle-based positions of the African Union and its member states in supporting and backing the Palestinian questions in all the regional and international fora. And we would like also to reiterate our support to your actions and struggle and priorities in Africa, and the need to enable Africa to play its leading role in a multilateral world while protecting its cultural identity and sovereignty. And we would like to greet on this occasion the great efforts which are being made by the UN and its Secretary General and its agencies in providing important assistance and services to our people. And we would like to commend also the efforts, whether formal or informal, which have supported the Palestinian question and which have considered the Palestinian issue as a central one. We would like to support our full support to the aspirations of our brothers in Africa for stability, prosperity, and development, and wish full success to your work and the future of Africa and its free peoples, and wish them more prosperity. Wassalamu alaikum. Thank you for your kind attention.